This is the Heinz Dilemma. A woman was near death from a special kind of cancer. There was one drug that doctors thought might save her. It was a form of radium that a druggist in the same town had recently discovered. The drug was expensive to make, but the druggist was charging 10 times what it cost to make. He paid $200 for the radium and charged $2,000 for a small dose of the drug. The sick woman's husband, Heinz, went to everyone he knew to borrow the money, but he could only get together about $1,000, which is half of what it cost. He told the druggist that his wife was dying and asked him to sell it cheaper or let him pay later. But the druggist said, "No, I discovered the drug and I'm going to make money on it." So Heinz got desperate and began to think about breaking into the man's store to steal the drug for his wife. If you were Heinz, what would you do and why?
I'm Theo, I'm 11 years old, and I would steal the drug. Even though stealing is wrong, under the right circumstances, which this is, stealing is the right thing to do. It would be much worse crime to let his wife die than steal the drug.
So you would steal the drug because you wouldn't want to watch your wife die?
Yes, watching his wife die would be a much, much worse punishment than going to jail.
Do you think stealing is wrong?
Stealing is wrong and immoral, but under the right circumstances, it is the right thing to do.
Would you be afraid of punishment?
I would be afraid, but not as afraid of the regret I'd have if my wife died. I'd always be thinking about I could have done something that I didn't.
Why would you feel that way?
I'd feel that way if, well, when my wife died, the regret I'd have, it would be twice as bad punishment for the rest of my life if I'm only going to jail for a month or a couple of years.
So you think sometimes it's alright to break the law to save people's lives?
It is. Saving someone's life is a lot more important than stealing a drug. And the man that has the drug is also cheating Heinz.
Why?
Selling it for that much more than it costs to make is not the right thing to do. And if the man's wife is dying, it seems that what he's doing is immoral.
Why is that?
Well, if I were in the case of the druggist, I would definitely sell it for $1,000 or even less. And selling something for 10 times what it costs to make isn't the right thing to do to someone that is poor. And Heinz even offered to spend the money later, but the druggist said that he wouldn't do that because he discovered the drug and he made profit off it, and it seems like the wrong thing to do.
So if the druggist is cheating Heinz, do you think that in this case, cheating or stealing is worse?
Although stealing is probably worse, I'd say that it is the more appropriate thing to do than cheating.
Why?
Well, the man that's cheating is not saving anyone's life and is just greedily doing it for his own purposes. The man who's stealing is, well, doing it to save his dying wife.